Morning, everybody. In hosting our first auction of 2024, we continue with a legacy of work that we've been doing over the last 15 years as one of the leading auction houses. We've had in excess of 200 auctions, brought in excess of 5,000 properties to market, and created billions of rands worth of value for our clients. Today, we don't have a guest speaker that is talking to industry trends, but rather one of our clients, talking to the work that we've done, and talking to the City of Cape Town as an investment and business destination. We have been privileged to work with the City of Cape Town as a client for the last 3 years as the auctioneer of record on their real estate disposals on the auction platform, and our tenure comes to the end now in March. Even more satisfying is the fact that this client just recently was recognized as the second best city in the world by Time Out magazine, only second to New York. So that's an amazing accolade. Today I have Alderman James Vos, a senior representative of the City of Cape Town, opening our auction. James plays a vital role in the City of Cape Town's economic growth and development as the mayoral committee member for economic growth in the city. He has oversight and is responsible for steering tourism, investment and trade, all key pillars of opportunity in the city. The Alderman title, James was the youngest ever to have been bestowed upon him the Alderman title. He was previously a Minister of Parliament, and he was a shadow member of tourism. His civic involvement work also earned him an International Merit Award, so certainly Alderman Vos arrives with an amazing reputation and a body of work that is very enviable. James, like many others, believes that economic expansion is crucial to enhance quality of life and attracting private investment. His mission, as he's described it to me, is to cultivate jobs, welcome more flights to the City of Cape Town, and making Cape Town Africa's most business-friendly city. And I think he's done exceptionally well, he and his team. I was in the city over the December holiday, and it was as busy as I've ever seen it. Lots of international and local visitors. So, well done, and long may that last. And he's going to talk a bit about this today, the city being an investment destination, and he's going to talk to a couple of the investment opportunities that we as High Street Auction are presenting at the 27th of March auction with the City of Cape Town, our final auction with him under our tenure. But it gives me great pleasure in welcoming Alderman James Vos to us today. He's online, streaming live to our global audience as well as our local audience. So a big hand to Alderman James Vos.
Good afternoon, Greg, and to everyone listening. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak to you. I've been really looking forward to this event because I love a good opportunity to brag to people in Joburg about Cape Town. I'm only joking, but you have to admit my view from my office of Table Mountain is probably a bit better than yours. Okay, now I'll really stop. What I will tell you, though, is that Cape Town is a very exciting place for developers and investors to be. Now, the biggest and most current example of this is the upcoming auction of a lease opportunity of the bulk development rights on the Foreshore Tower site, right next to the Cape Town International Convention Centre, just up the road from me, and the auction of a 2.5 hectare plot in Century City, about 15 minutes out of the inner city of Cape Town. Now, both sites are in prime locations, and by releasing it for development, the City of Cape Town will provide a sought-after opportunity for commercial property expansion, really catalyzing economic growth and creating employment opportunities. Now, for the Foreshore Tower location, the site is zoned for general business, and the current zoning permissions for the usable bulk rights is conservatively estimated at approximately 25,000 square meters. Now, the highest and best use for the property is considered mixed use typologies based on the demand and the primary uses allowed. Now, this includes primary uses such as a multi-level office, hotel, and leisure. Now, having said that, We're non-prescriptive of the use as long as it is in line with the zoning and development rights, and also complements the existing operations at the Cape Town International Convention Centre. By the way, the CTICC is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year, and with a forward book taking us into 2026 with more than 400 confirmed events and conferences. And just to reflect quickly on 2023, we had more than 427 events and conferences taking place at the CTICC. And so because we foresee then also this as a very bespoke development, which is highly capital intensive, we then would allow for a 99-year lease, which will ensure really a return on investment for the potential developers. So it's a fantastic location in the foreshore of Cape Town, right next to the CTICC, and you've got the backdrop of Table Mountain and the proximity to the V&A waterfront and Cape Town Harbour. Now turning to the 25,000 square meters Century City site, this is zoned for use as an office, retail and business space, with a maximum height of 4 stories and a floor area factor of 1.0. Now, you might ask, why is it that the city of Cape Town undertakes with these auctions, and why we dispose of these properties? Now, the way we see it, the release of land and opportunities to lease to the market underpins so many elements of our economic growth. The volumes and values of property disposals and leases handled by my department really speaks to our smart real estate approach to get the best economic and social value of our assets. We're not a land bank, and I really don't believe that we should be. We should be a government that is innovative and smart in delivering services to our residents and investors. So why am I trying to entice investors who have already shown a keen interest in the mother city? Well, the MoneyWeb publication ran an article a year ago, headline Top Landlords Ditching Gauteng for Western Cape, where returns are better. And there's been ample media coverage of the so-called semigration trend. Now, the City of Cape Town government recognizes and understands the value of creating the conditions where people have the infrastructure and systems needed to do business and create then economic growth. And that is our reward. Now, take, for example, the jobs report. Now, one of the clearest indications of a region's economic well-being is the jobs report. And what is the percentage of its working age population that is actually working? And so because the higher an employment rate, the more a society is able to spend on goods and services, which then goes on to boost further businesses and industries. And the more employed in a society, the less likely it is to suffer the associated ills of social strife. Now, this past Tuesday, you might have seen that Stats SA released the latest report for the October to December 2023 quarter. Now, it stated that Cape Town has added over 43,000 new jobs in that 3-month period and 363,000 jobs since the current local government term of office began in November 2021. Now, the Metro's employment rate increased by 7.4% year on year. So Cape Town's economy is growing faster, with this city at the heart of the national economic growth. Now, Cape Town has proven quarter after quarter, time and again, to be the metro with the lowest unemployment rate. So don't get me wrong, I and my colleagues are very aware that there's still a long road ahead of us and many Cape Townians for whom prosperity is still but a hope. But every day, prosperity comes a reality for yet more of our people because we have a plan of action. And here's the kicker, we stick to that plan. And while it's not a government's job to create jobs, I think it's worth repeating what I said before. We must create the conditions that allows businesses to boom. This means investing in our communities and cities through education, infrastructure development, and then the provision of efficient and effective basic services. Just to give an example, last year, my team and I introduced the new Ease of Doing Business Index in Cape Town, previously undertaken by the World Bank, suspended in 2018. And so we decided to come up with 10 business-facing indicators from electricity connections to water connections to business licenses to the release of land for private sector development. And all of those 10 business-facing indicators are linked to time and internal processes so that we can push our city government to do things with speed and efficiency, so we can measure all of those applications in real time, and it's live on a dashboard on www.investcapetown.com for all to see. So that's just another measure of introducing systems that will make it easier for businesses to set up shop in Cape Town, to get through all of the regulatory processes, and also to make use of our dedicated investment facilitation services. And so that's also added immense value to developers deciding to do business in Cape Town, so that we have a dedicated team that will support those developers through all of the applications, time planning processes, and to do it with speed and efficiency because it's linked to the Ease of Doing Business Index. Now, the City of Cape Town is doing just that with 120 billion Rand, a 10-year project pipeline in vital basic services infrastructure. So last week in Cape Town, we've launched a 10-year pipeline program to the value of 120 billion Rand, where we are putting, for example, 2.3 billion Rand towards a load shedding plan that will offer protection from the first 4 stages of Eskom's blackouts within 3 years. The city government will also add 650 megawatt in independent power to the Cape Town grid by 2026-2027 to protect against 4 stages of Eskom's load shedding, with the aim of adding 1 gigawatt in time. 4.8 billion Rand will be invested in congestion relief road projects over the 10-year portfolio, and these are just a few examples. But it is not only this clear focus plan to develop the systems and structures that will match and meet the needs of our expanding city and its people that has drawn investors. It's also our integrated economic growth strategy, which is a detailed plan developed by the economic growth team, which is cross-cutting to all of the departments within the municipal government, where there's about 130 action steps for each department to implement over this period, so that we can do things with absolute speed and capability, and at the same time stick to the plan, because in the economic growth strategy we deal with issues such as workforce development, regulatory environment, all the things that businesses need to ultimately get their developments going and to have the confidence that their businesses will be successful and that they've got a city government that's in their corner. And so with this growth strategy, we have also taken an unflinching, thorough view of Cape Town's economic landscape and that of the global village in which it finds itself. And we have mapped out plans to drive opportunity across various sectors and industries that have shown the potential for major growth, from call centers to boat building, technology, clothing and textile, the green economy, and more. We are working on the ground via industry partners to grow our skilled workforces that can meet the demands of incoming investors. And these investors aren't arriving through mere chance, but because our investment promotion and our dedication towards investment facilitation has really gone out to find them and help land those deals for Cape Town. For example, Cape Town has become the destination of choice for many of the world's biggest call center companies, with about 72,000 locally based operators speaking to clients across the country and globe. And at the same time, we're also working with small businesses, entrepreneurs, and informal traders already based in the metro to not only keep their doors open, but to equip them with the skills to expand their platforms. And then also under our business retention and expansion program, another dedicated program to assist large and small businesses to strategize their operations and, where possible, to help expedite their development. And also under our productivity efficiency program, which is administered by Productivity SA, we assist small to medium enterprises who are in distress or need guidance on improving their operations. I'm really obsessed with the productivity of businesses, because if those businesses can ultimately produce more, they employ more. And then we can also help their products to get to market with speed and efficiency, so that it really benefits their bottom line, their profitability. And so that's really something that we are striving towards, to see how we can get more productivity going amongst the Cape Town manufacturing businesses. We're also funding and working with our partners to expand initiatives that will take local brands to buyers across the globe. And so through the Cape Trade Portal, the trade and investment promotion agency for Cape Town and the province, we have created a digital marketplace for Cape-based exporters that connects them directly with buyers, and additionally serves as a dedicated center of skills development resources. Now, to give you an example, the portal, which started off with 115 registered exporters showcasing 600 products in 2022, grew to 924 exporters showcasing over 4,000 Cape products in just 1 year. And more clients means greater demand for products, which means more staff is required. So as Cape Town's mayoral committee member for economic growth, I really have a strong drive and determination to grow Cape Town's economy. And I firmly believe our local products and places are key to this growth, because these projects and the gains they make me more determined than ever for a Cape Town that will shine brighter as a city of hope for all South Africans. So in closing, I must give Greg and the rest of the team at High Street Auctions my profound thanks for your professionalism, efficiency, and innovation, and also in thought and deed, because with the upcoming auction on 27 March, High Street will have run 7 auctions for the City of Cape Town government and taken 197 properties to market. 57 properties have already been transferred and 64 are in the process. And so one of the exceptional results include the disposal of the Virgin Active Precinct in Greenpoint, which is a lease for 3.7 million rand per month. And so work has begun on putting the pieces in place for another auction in May, because no government should be a land bank. We should use our land as a means to unlock socio-economic value and take investment-ready land to the market for long-term lease or disposal, so that we can get more private sector development happening in our city and throughout the country, which will add construction jobs, add revenue, and bring in new investors, so that we can make our cities amazing places to live, work, and play. And as I conclude, Greg spoke about his December holiday here in Cape Town. Cape Town is obviously very much a tourism destination where we have been ranked as amongst the best in the world. But make no mistake, we're also a very serious business and investment destination, so that we can mix our leisure and our business and bring in much more business events into Cape Town. That is the mission, because for me, it's creating one job in every household in Cape Town through more private sector-led development. And for us as Cape Town to open the door for those investors and to make it easier. And it all starts with the land availability. And that's why my team and I are really prioritizing the land disposal, well located, suitably zoned, so that it makes business sense for developers to choose Cape Town for their next deal, and that my team stands ready to process those transactions so that we can build business confidence here in Cape Town and make our city a place of hope and a shining star for Cape Town and South Africa, so that we can show to the world that we are the go-to city in Africa and beyond for business and for leisure. And if you want to just look at those numbers again, for December, we had 317,000 two-way passengers arrive in Cape Town. That's the highest ever recording, where we've got now 215 international flights landing in Cape Town every single week. Aeroplanes filled with investors, tourists coming to do business in Cape Town. So we've really connected Cape Town exceptionally well with key source markets around the world, with a direct flight into South America, 3 direct flights into North America, an expansive network into Africa, into Europe, into the UK, and now busy exploring into the East, so that we can connect Cape Town with more key source markets, because aviation and connectivity is a key part of how we do our business. So that is just giving you a sense of how we connect Cape Town and see ourselves as a global player. And of course, much work is going into unlocking the ocean's potential in terms of boat building, marine manufacturing, and all of the other benefits that come with a coastline around Cape Town, from retail, fishing, and property development, which is very lucrative. So once again, thank you so much for having me on your platform today. And I wish you well with the upcoming auction. And I really hope that you will attend our auction on the 27th of March, where we put forward these 2 prime properties here in the CBD of Cape Town, next to the Cape Town International Convention Centre, and the other property in the Century City precinct along the N1 highway. 2 prime properties, and then towards the end of the financial year, there'll be many more auctions, also with investment-ready land that we'll take to the market. Thank you for listening to me. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, James, for your time. I must say your narrative about your economic growth strategy is very compelling. And long may you hold the flag high in the global village. My fear is now, having listened to this, all of my staff are going to be asked to be relocated to Cape Town. I'm going to try and have to incentivize them to stay up here inland. But thank you for your time, Alderman Voss, and all the very best. Thank you.